All right, and we are here live here on a Wednesday night here on Couch Coach Live. We're here with the fellas Maui and X. As you just heard our bumper a few seconds ago, we do have some breaking news in the world of the NFL. Unfortunately, to announce the passing of Colts owner Jim Irsay, passed away this afternoon at the age of 65. I'm going to briefly read a statement from the Indianapolis Colts. I'm just going to read the first paragraph of it. We are devastated to announce our beloved owner and CEO, Jim Irsay, passed away peacefully in his sleep this afternoon. Jim's dedication and passion for the Indianapolis Colts, in addition to his generosity and passion for the Indianapolis Colts, in addition to his generosity, commitment to the community, and most importantly, his love for his family were unsurpassed. Our deepest sympathies go to his daughter, Carly Irsay Gordon, Casey Fout, Kaylin Jackson, and his entire family as we grieve with them. So, fellas, we'll go around the horn. X, your thoughts on this breaking news story, the passing of Jim Irsay?
I mean, I guess shocking to say. That kind of wasn't the breaking news I was expecting. All I can say is he did what he was supposed to do as an owner of the Indianapolis Colts. Brought them a Super Bowl. Turned Lucas Oil Stadium into home of the NFL Combine. Other than that, I know we know he had some issues that he was dealing with. I'm trying to think. I don't think he was really trying to. I mean, he may have tried to hide the issues, but he also was, when presented with it, was upfront about it. So, my condolences and prayers to his family. It's something you don't want to hear. So all I can say is prayers and condolences to his family and to the Colts organization.
Yeah, for sure. What are your thoughts, Matt?
I don't know much about him. I remember seeing him, and condolences to the family and people close to him, because as I was talking to you guys before we got on air, you said it was kind of a shock, and he was 65. But I was looking, I was like, man, he looked like some things was going on, maybe even health wise. I think there was even Pat McAfee is the first time I kind of like saw him or something like that on Pat McAfee show, and but that's here and there, like just sending love, strength, and power to his family. And in the organization and everybody that was close to him, because things like this is kind of hard. Just take one day at a time, and in the mourning process, it's not easy at all. But it's natural, it's life.
Yeah, like I said, when I first heard this news about an hour ago, it was a shock. Especially considering the fact just how young he was at 65 years old. And like I was telling X, he was less than 30 days away from being 66. And you just think to yourself, like, hearing that news is, it's very, very shocking to hear of his passing. And the things that he's done for the NFL, like you said, winning the championship with the Colts back in 2007. And not even kind of, and I guess this would be appropriate to kind of bring it up. He was instrumental in, as far as Daniel Snyder being exiled out of the ownership of the Washington Commanders. He was one of the first ones that essentially, I say, blew the whistle in the sense of what was, as far as being the first one to kind of saying, hey, we need to get him out of this ownership group. Of an ownership collective as far as for the NFL is concerned. And like you said, yes, I definitely want to give my condolences to his family. As the Indianapolis coach said, that pretty much the organization as well. And just had a great NFL career. Obviously, you just as far as it pretty much had every level. As far as even when they were in Baltimore, instrumental there. Became the general manager when they moved to Indianapolis in 1984, and then took ownership in 1997. So he's had very robust career with the Colts organization, and I know this is a huge loss for the Colts. It's a huge loss for the football league as well. So, like we said, just want to send our condolences to the Irsay family, especially of this nature, and that's concerned. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take a brief time out. When we come back, we'll start off the show. We'll discuss SGA winning the MVP. We'll talk about some drama in the against former teammates and colleagues. We had RG3 versus Ryan Clark. We'll discuss that. Brock Purdy getting his extension the other day. And then we'll have a little fun on tonight's show. We're going to create our own flag football dream team for the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. And so we'll be right back here on Couch Coach Live, and we'll be right back. Yes, and we are back here. Big shout out to Big Kirko. We are back here on Couch Coach Live, another Wednesday night under the lights here on Couch Coach Live. Got the fellas in here. We got X and we got Maui. What's going on, fellas? How's everything going? How's your week been, fellas?
What's going on, Coach? Going pretty good so far.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Mal? You hear me?
You talking to me?
Yeah. How's everything going?
It's getting there. It's going. I'm doing okay. How about you guys?
Good. I mean, hey, just ready for the weekend,
Yeah, right.
honestly.
Yeah. Good over here. No
Right.
complaints,
Hey,
man. No complaints.
X, how was the graduation?
Oh, man. It was great.
X, how was the graduation?
It was great.
Yeah. That's what's.
Had to fight back tears, but it was great.
Hey.
Okay.
Don't fight them, bro. Just let it flow, dog. Just you cry in the car, dog.
I'm gonna go to 7-Eleven, get me two cheap champagne bottles of Negro, and I'm just telling you, where you going? I'm just gonna sit in the car or sit on the hood and just think about all the ups and downs. Going in her room, saying, "Hey, just leave me alone, Dad." Oh, okay, cool. All right, I don't know what's going on. I got you. Hey, Coach, I know we got to move on, but man, I must say, man, you was wearing that fade, that fade this weekend, man. When you was doing your thing in UFL, I said, man, who got the Nas fade, man? Like I was like, it's killing them. I thought you was from Philly.
Hey, man.
I'm gonna tell you, give me some oils and cheesesteak. I'm sorry, it's a little lax, fellas. I apologize.
Shout out to my guy Mikhail, man. Got me right this weekend. So yeah, I had to get it. Yeah, it's been a little minute. So I need to kind of get that all crisp and clean. Especially trying to going on air and all, air, doing stuff. But yeah, man. You better at the story. you don't have to pack up on some tissues. I know, it's for the graduation on your end. So, hey,
Yeah, man. Man, it's been great and rough at the same time, but that's what make it great when it's rough. You know what I mean? So
the journey.
that's what's up.
Yep,
Yeah,
the
the
journey.
journey.
Yep.
Mm.
So, fellas, we got to get into our first topic of tonight. We got to talk about SGA winning the MVP. That wasn't really a secret that he was going to win the MVP. Obviously, he led OKC with 68 wins on the season. He received 71 out of the possible 100 first place votes. Jokic finished second.
Mm.
SGA averaged 32.7 points per game. He was a scoring champ. 51% from the floor, which is very impressive. 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1.5 steals. The last time someone had that feat of this stat line was the greatest of all time. Michael Jordan. Pardon me, I jumped the gun here. In the 1987, 1988 campaign, and also Jordan's 1990, 1991 campaign. So his 2 MVP seasons mirrored pretty much what SGA did this year. So, fellas, I'm going around the horn. I'm gonna start with you first, X. Your thoughts on SGA named the MVP?
Like you said, Coach, pretty much no secret, well deserved. I honestly kind of think he should have won it last year too, but that argument's for another day. Like I said, he had a great season. Like I said, he joined, from what I understand, he joined Steph Curry as the only players to average 30 plus points per game on 50, 35, 90 splits shooting. So 50% from the field, 35% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line. He also, like you said, averaged 5 plus assists, 5 rebounds, 1.5 steals, and he also averaged 1 block per game. He led the league in plus minus. He also led the league in 20-point games, 30-point games, 40-point games, and 50-point games. So, yeah. So to say it was well deserved. He also led the Thunder to a 68-14 record, best record in the league
Right.
overall, number 1 seed in the West. There's really nothing much you can say negative about Shea. I know some people like to nitpick about calling him a foul baiter, foul merchant, but I mean that is part of the game. You gotta manipulate some things so it'll work in your favor. James Harden did it or still does it. He may not get the friendly whistle as he did before. I mean, we're watching a player that's doing it now, Jalen Brunson. So to me, I don't see nothing wrong with it. If you can find a way to get to the line and score and also help your team win, I see nothing wrong with it. So, well-deserved MVP. I know I'm jumping the gun. They took care of business last night. So I know he has his eyes set on a finals and a finals MVP as well.
Yep. All right. Maui, what's your thoughts on SGA winning the MVP?
I mean, it was well deserved, man. Like he's been consistent. Like you said, he could have won last year. A lot of people felt like Joker should have won, but he lost. Joker's numbers was record crazy, just like SGA is. But it's been that way, the last few years, even with a man from the 76ers, Embiid. But this is about SGA. Congratulations. You turned the franchise around. I was very, we'll talk about that. I don't want to jump the gun, but I hadn't really seen him much, but it's cool to see how he plays. He plays more or less inside out rather than outside in. Um, and he plays if he's a guy. It's one thing to like try to bait the foul if you're doing it at the 3-point line, but if it's within like the plan, I guess use the game plan. Like the game plan is if I'm playing against Steph Curry and I'm bigger than him, I want to get him in foul trouble so he can sit down. They're not the same team. That's basketball. It really is. You know what I mean? That's really a big part of basketball. But congratulations to him, man. X said all the statistics, so he got it. But I'm happy for him. Seemed like a real cool guy. Seemed like he's a team guy too. So hey, congratulations.
Yeah. Well deserved. I was saying, just typically happens. The best team record wise and the scoring leader, it was like no brainer. Like when they said they were gonna announce it today, and I'm like, well, it was a foregone conclusion. And like you said, you've seen kind of the growth of SGA throughout the years, and like you said, it kind of resurrected this OKC Thunder franchise. They're another team where you think they were still a viable team prior to him coming there. Obviously, those the days of Carmelo Anthony and PG, and then he comes in and they kind of somewhat take like a rebuilding mode, and they rebuild it pretty quick with down Chris Paul, and then now you look at the youth movement. It's funny, we talked about all those picks way back in the day, like, and now all those guys kind of coming to fruition, and you seeing that kind of we made those jokes about, okay, they traded for a fifth grader, and that fifth grader is like Jalen Williams. That fifth grader is Chet Holmgren, so it kind of just came into fruition. But but definitely well deserved for SGA. So we talked about that performance. So I'm assuming tomorrow night we will. Well, I wonder if they still do the on the court MVP like the actual presentation of the MVP, because I thought about it, because I don't remember the last time someone was playing, because I don't think Joker, when he got announced, I think they were in the playoffs last year, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow if they have one, because I used to love that where they when you would they would have like the MVP ceremony before the game, like on the court. So hopefully so I wonder if they still do that now, but I guess we'll find out really soon. That's the thing about it, where you just one sleep away from figuring that out. But speaking of, we kind of jumped the gun talking about game 2. Well, let's backtrack to game 1, where the Oklahoma City Thunder won in game 1 of the Western Conference Finals by the final score of 118-88 over the Minnesota Timberwolves. X, what were your thoughts on last night's Thunder victory?
I mean, Minnesota to start the game came out pretty much firing on all cylinders. Julius Randle had the hot hand, had it going. But then it was like coming close to the end of the second quarter, going into halftime, you saw the Thunder slowly kind of chipping away at the lead. And then it was like they turned on the switch in the second half. And it was like at the snap of a finger. And they pretty much ran Minnesota out of the building. I know Ant-Man struggled. And I don't think the ankle injury played a significant role in that, but I'm not in his body, so I can't really say. But Ant-Man not scoring a point in the fourth quarter is
crazy.
I know, yes, and unacceptable. And I know it's unacceptable to his standards. The bench for Minnesota has to play better. 1 for 11 from slipping on his name.
The light skinned dude, Vachinians.
No. He's been struggling since the last series. He hasn't since that Lakers series. He has not played the same. I don't know what's going on. If it's something, I don't know what it is. But no, I'm not talking about DiVincenzo. I'm talking about Naz Reid.
Naz Reid, okay.
1 for 11. That's terrible. Terrible. And then you got Gobert. He has to play a lot better. Yes. 2 points and 3-4 rebounds. Like, come on, man. You got to give me something better than that. But some people will say this was a fill out game for each team, but I expect Minnesota to play 10 times better. And I might be going out on a limb, and if I'm wrong, I'll just take it as being wrong. But I think Minnesota will tie the series up after tomorrow's game. Because I don't see Ant-Man not scoring a point in the fourth quarter again.
All right.
I don't see Naz Reid shooting 1 for 11 from the field.
I do.
I need I don't mind Julius shooting the 3 ball when he's knocking it down, but I need you to get in the paint. I need you to be more physical. I need you to bump bodies with Hartenstein and Chet. Me and Chet weigh the same, and I'm 5'8", 5'9". So Chet so he needs to get in there and move them around a little bit, make them uncomfortable. Sometimes you may have to go searching out a foul or something, get them off rhythm or whatnot. But I see Minnesota playing, like I said, playing a lot better. But what I found interesting was that Alex Caruso did one heck of a job on Julius Randle defensively. And I mean, it shouldn't be a shock to anyone because he played Joker pretty much the same. He played him good defensively. And I just feel like Julius Randle, you have the size and the mismatch. Just take advantage of it. Take them down to the paint, back them down, get you a couple easy baskets. Then you can work yourself out to knocking down the 3 ball. But other than that, the bench needs to be better. Gobert needs to be a lot better. I'm not saying give me 27 and 24 like you did in the closeout game against LA, but you got to give me something. A double-double at least. 7'2", 3-4 rebounds, unacceptable. Especially for the type of money he making.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Maui?
Okay, real quick. McDaniels this is the Timberwolves. McDaniels got 7.6 rebounds. Delvicino, did I say it right? Delvicino? Did I say it right? Anyway, 9 points.
I think
okay. The 9 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Walker, 8 points, 2 rebounds. Naz Reid, 28 minutes, 8 rebounds, 4 assists for like Rudy Gobert, 21 minutes, 3 and 2 points, 3 rebounds. Ant-Man, 37 minutes, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 18 points. So Conley. So like if to me, basketball is best, just like in boxing. Yeah, you could be unorthodox, but if some get to the point, 1-2 jab. You know what I'm saying? He's a point guard. He's a veteran point guard. And what I don't understand, when Ant went out with his ankle, like, why can't y'all just play straight up basketball? You know what I mean? Like, let Mike Conley go out there and set up some things for Randall, and you clearly during the Lakers series, Rudy Gobert, you saw a different side of him that nobody saw. Even was making his free throws. So you got to set the big man up so he can get at least 10 points. Like 10 points is 5 shots. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you need to open things up. Like I agree, X. I don't like the debate. I agree with everything you're saying, but Julius Randle has been to me consistent: 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 28 points. Like, I mean, come on, man. Y'all got to be better than that. Y'all look like the Timberwolves of last year. You dominated the damn Nuggets, and then you get in there and play against the Mavs, and you just like, what's going on? It's an anxiety. Like, what's really going on? Like, and then I'll give you team stats. I was looking through this whole thing. The Thunder, 54 points in the paint against 20. And then the Timberwolves shot 51 threes and only made 15, where the Thunder shot 21 threes and made 11. I'm like, well, that's it right there. You know, I'm wondering, were they that far ahead that you just felt like you just had to keep shooting threes? When did they get so far ahead? Because I stopped watching that second half. Did they just?
Well, really, that's when it got out of hand. Really, in the second half.
Yeah, they went on like a 17-2 run in the third quarter. So I mean, and it's like they never recovered from that. When you get a crowd like that into the game, it's kind of hard for the road team to get back into, especially in OKC. So what they should, to me,
it looks like. Oh, go ahead, X. You got it.
Now, what I'm saying, what they should have done was, I guess, trying to replicate what you did in the first quarter, because you had the crowd like out of the game, like quiet, and that's what you needed, and that's what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't know what happened in the Thunder locker room, but they came out in the second half, and I mean, they was firing on all cylinders.
Hey, SGA 31 points. And Williams got 19 points. But one more thing. One thing I noticed about this NBA is when they have a nice lead, they just keep shooting threes. And I'm like, man, all you got to do is just keep going to the basket. Just keep going to the basket. You know what I mean? They either going to foul you and then make your free throws. But then they'll mess around and just be trying to shoot threes. And then the other team actually get back in the game. And you pay attention really to the Knicks and Boston series, that was some of the issues. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, and like you said, I think honestly, and I think actually you had a good point about, like, as far as trying to get settled in. And we've always had these classic cases of like the Ironing, where you have a team that just played 48 hours, they play well, but the team that's rested, that had essentially 6 days off, they come out cold, and they came out more cold in the second half more than anything. But like we talked about, the SGA. 31-9. We also got some good contributions off the bench. Casey Wallace had 7 assists. Isaiah Joe had 7. Then you had Kendrick Williams having 8 points, going 3 for 3. So you get those kind of that bench, those role player type guys involved, and like you said, coupled with that crowd. And like you said, it was a bad shooting night. I don't necessarily think you're going to see Minnesota. Minnesota shooting 35% from the field and shooting 29% from the three. I think it's just like a rarity in that case. And like you said, I definitely think that if Minnesota wants to win this series, I wouldn't necessarily think game 2 is a must win, but you don't want to go back to Minnesota down 0-2. Especially in the Western Conference Finals, especially in this nature, because you want to at least get to a point where, hey, I still got to win a game in OKC at some point. If I want to win, if I want to go to the NBA Finals, I got to win. I'd rather win this than than play a game 7 and in Oklahoma City. So yeah, I think like you said, it to me just like a one-off, and that's normally what happens in games of this type of nature, especially when you have, I call it rest versus rust. So like you said, I definitely think they felt each other out, and I think the series really gonna starting tomorrow for sure. Yeah.
Let me say something real quick. Like I'm watching the highlights because I meant to watch the second half highlights, and it's like 9 minutes, and it's 73 to 84, and I'm just sitting here like the score ended up being 114 to 88. Like, what happened? I'm just that's why I was like, I said, dang, did his ankle hurt that much? Where it just, and I was like, even if this is what I keep saying, even if that's the issue, y'all been here before, there should be a game plan if Ant is hurt or something like that, that a team that's getting coaches and assistant coaches is getting paid a lot of money should be able to have game plans if something like that happens. I just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's 5 minutes, it's only a 10-point game. So like what happened? You know what I mean? I don't get it.
Like we talked about it, OKC just went on a run and they just couldn't stop it, and then having a cold shooting night. I hear echo. I hear echo.
Is it me?
I'm not sure.
I don't hear the echo no more.
All right, I don't think I hear it no more. All right, but yeah, I mean they had a cold shooting night. I mean that's the thing, and then like we talked about it being outscored 70 to 40 in the second half. Yeah, that's gonna do it. But like I said, they'll clean this stuff up. I don't think you'll see a repeat performance like this from Minnesota going into game 2 for sure.
I felt like Minnesota was careless with the basketball at times. Too many turnovers. And OKC likes to get out.
17 steals. Yep.
Yeah. OKC likes to get out and run. And that what gets the crowd into the game. And it's like I saw at times when when the primary defender would turn, would make Ant-Man or whoever's the ball handler turn, and then here comes Jalen Williams with a steal from behind, an easy transition basket. So I think you have to be mindful of that of times because the help is going to come from somewhere. And like I said, OKC likes to get out in transition and get those easy baskets. And that keeps the crowd into the game, and it makes it hard for the road team to come back. Because once that momentum swings, it's hard to bring it back to your side.
Right.
Yeah. So going to our next topic here. Well, we got this is a classic case of how in the hell did we get where we got to here. So let's just start from the top. So obviously we had the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky playing on Saturday, essentially for opening weekend of the WNBA. There was a play where Angel Reese fouled Aaliyah, had a hard foul on Aaliyah Boston. That was the first play, and then on the next possession, Angel Reese has the ball and she's fouled hard by Caitlin Clark. And obviously, Angel Reese kind of turned back as almost if she was going to get ready to hit Caitlin Clark, but they had a classic hold me back type situation. So, we thinking, okay, this happens. It's par for the course. It's just, it's basketball. It's physical nature and what have you. So, Robert Griffin III had to put in his 2 cents. So obviously, he came up with this grand idea this grand content idea of, hey, I'm gonna have my wife sit behind me while I go through examples to say, hey, Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. So he pretty much showed some examples. He made some examples. Obviously, he showed the foul play of Caitlin Clark hitting Angel and reaction of that. He also showed the situation with when Angel Reese got fouled last year by Alyssa Thomas, where Alyssa Thomas got ejected and said that, hey, she wasn't as mad when she literally almost got clotheslined. So we think, okay, we good. This RG3 is just the lone wolf. Nobody's like coming at him. Okay, we thinking, okay, it's gonna be a dead topic. But lo and behold, Ryan Clark enters the chat. So we're gonna play a clip from the pivot. So it's gonna be about a 2-minute clip, and it's just gonna be more so talking about pretty much Ryan Clark's thoughts on the whole situation of RG3's video stating that that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, and we'll start there right now.
For RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot from Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Caitlin Clark is as well. Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage to the stars of the past. She pays homage to the Black women that have come before her. And now she is carrying the mantle forward. So there's no need to pin those two against each other and paint them based on stereotypical tropes. And I think this is what I'd like RG3 to know, that no matter how much he continues to echo the microaggressions of racists, he'll be no less Black than me.
There are unresolved. All right. So, and we talked about that. So then RG3 kind of retorts back saying, hey, you took it personal. You talked about my wife, and pretty much saying, hey, that ESPN needs to fire Ryan Clark. So, and God bless Freaky Fred, because Freaky Fred was very patient about during this talk. So shout out to Freaky Fred. So I'm going around the horn, fellas. What do you guys make of this? Of this? Once was a kitchen fire. Now the house done been on fire. I'm gonna go with you first. X, what you got?
Man, oh boy. Yeah, cause you're a Commanders fan. Like, what's the background and the history between these two?
I always had a sense they didn't like each other. Obviously, when Ryan came back at the tail end, he came back in 2014, and that's when kind of RG3 started having this, I guess you can say, like this precipitous drop as far as the popularity. So obviously, he wasn't a cute shiny toy no more. He was a guy that a lot of people looked at. He's the reason why Mike Shanahan was gone, why Kyle is gone. Like, he was kind of one of those. So I didn't think I put it this way: the 2014 Washington Redskins group chat is in shambles. But I mean, I did have a sense that they really didn't get along, because you can even tell it on like when they did Monday Night Countdown together, a few years back. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's yeah.
I mean, in the past, not just Ryan Clark. I've heard, what was his name, Rob Parker, when he was talking about RG3 back then,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of called him the same thing that what a lot of people call him, corny. I mean, I don't really pay that much attention to RG3's like Twitter, X, IG, anything like that. I mean, I listen to him when he talks about college football, but seeing some of the stuff that RC had pointed out, like talking about his white wife, how he loves milk and stuff like that, I kind of look at it as being corny too. But I don't want to seem like I'm talking bad about RG3 because I don't have a horse in the race. So, and I don't think ESPN is going to fire Ryan Clark. I'm not going. They may punish him, but I don't see him losing his job or being suspended, anything like that. So maybe in the next few days or next couple weeks, this will just be water under the bridge. But we'll see. It all depends on what shot is thrown next. So, and where was Channing in that clip? Because I didn't hear Channing's. What was Channing?
I don't know.
Was
He's
he on
been
that
MIA because no, he's been MIA because he wasn't on there with Regina, Jaden's mom, Miss Jackson. He wasn't on that episode either. So yeah, he's been kind of MIA. Because I know they just got a brand new episode. I think the day or a few days ago, but he won on those last two episodes.
Because I didn't listen to the one that they got now with Paulo Banquero, so I'm not sure if he was on there or not. But yeah, man, it's somewhat entertaining, but it's also like why?
Right.
But I don't think RG3 did himself any favors when he tried, like when he insists that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. Like, hate is such a strong word to use when talking about these two. We know they have a history that dates back to the NCAA championship game, and then the following when Angel Reese and LSU won, and then the next year Caitlin Clark eliminated Angel Reese. Was it the Final Four to get to the championship game?
I think it was like the Elite Eight.
Because I felt like it was the Final Four because I think the winner was going on to play South Carolina.
Because I know they beat them. Because I remember, I don't know if they got to the Final Four. It might have been a regional championship, but either or. And like you said, it does date back to even because they were in the class of 2020 together, so they've been playing against each other or being in the same circles probably since like middle school. So this has been 2018, 17. So yeah.
So I feel like him saying that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark was like out of pocket and just too much. I wouldn't call it hate. It's a healthy competition. So like I said, I feel like RC may have been trying to defend Angel Reese to a certain extent since they both former LSU Tigers. So, and not just that, a lot of people have been attacking Angel Reese unfairly at times, sometimes warranted, but sometimes unfairly. And the same for Caitlin Clark. They're both just two young players trying to get themselves established in W, and which they have done. They've both made an all-star team in their rookie season. And I see both of them going on to having flourishing careers. They are helping to push the W into new heights, bringing fresh eyes to the W. So I just don't get it, and like it's kind of unnecessary, like the personal attacks. But like I said, I don't know the history between the two, so maybe it's warranted. But like I said, I don't know the background of their so-called beef.
Yeah. All right. Mel, your thoughts your thoughts on this, how the hell we got here beef?
I think it's all to trend. It's like they're on platforms where they're want to talk. Clearly RC's is bigger. RC's is moving forward, right? Well, it just seemed like RG3 is trying to figure out a way to get eyes on him more. Just like it's a few more that's like that was in the same predicament as RG3. I'm just not gonna say his name, but he does the same thing. Like he tries to make it seem like this other YouTube podcast guy. You know what I mean? He does the same thing. Like he tries to do different things so he can trend also. He'll take somebody, like he took this story and he spoke on it a couple different times. You know what I mean? And I just think that's what they're doing. I think it's even for Clayton Clark and Reese. I think it's a story that um the WNBA was starting. Let's go ahead and let everybody know by having these two and speak on a hard foul that when you look at it, it was hard, but it wasn't that hard. It was a little drama. Okay, so now everybody say, "Dang, I didn't even know the W." Some people didn't even know the WNBA was starting, so now they'll watch. So from my standpoint, that's what I think it was. Now, when I watched RG3, he made it seem like RC was disrespecting his wife and his kids. Now, what you just played, I did not see that. Our Ryan Clark didn't even say anything rude about my man's wife. He said that I think she's more than her skin tone. Didn't he say that? Then he said he talked to the woman, and I feel like she's more than that. So
Yeah,
I'm sitting here watching, and to me, I can basically what I'm saying is it's entertainment, and once you feel like you got some little flame, let me see how I can stretch this longer. Like I just seen him on Stephen A show doing the same thing, and what else did he do? He brung up Rob Parker. You know what I'm saying? So by doing that, now everybody gonna go look that up. When Rob Parker said something in the past, and then next thing you know, Rob Parker gonna say something, and then you know what I'm saying? It's just to constantly keep themselves trending over this is still entertainment. I also think though, and this is the last thing, I don't think Ryan Clark like offensive players. He is a defensive guy, but I really don't think he like offensive players. No, I'm just telling you that I'm a Steeler. I'm just telling you that because when him and Antonio Brown was when Antonio Brown was on there, and it was one of the first time I'm like, damn, RC, you supposed to be the leader of the team. Antonio Brown making a whole lot of sense what he talking about. Basically saying, man, you supposed to protect me. I got paid. But y'all hit me in my helmet, hit me in my head, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna get you back. And I could tell Ryan Clark was sitting there like, yeah, I might have been tripping. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't think he like offensive. And I guess, I can understand it on some football stuff, you know what I mean? But I just think, last thing, I just think that there's some personal stuff there. But I have to remember that these dudes have all this, it's about content. And once they feel like they got a flame, they go. You know what I mean? Until the flame is it's cold and it's smoke.
Hey, Coach, I got one question. Ryan Clark had mentioned something about a Monday night game. What happened on that Monday night game that he's talking about?
Uh-oh.
I don't necessarily. I wonder is it about the whole thing about like in the highlight package, he called somebody a jigaboo. So I don't know if that is what he was referring to.
Who called who a
So I
jigaboo?
don't know. It was because they were going over some highlights, so they were doing some type of analysis, and I don't know who he referred to as jigaboos, but he said the term jigaboo. So I'm thinking that's where, because I know a lot of people has issues with him when he said jigaboos. If I can pull that up, I'll share it. But that's what the only thing I can recall where because RG3 has had some out of pocket moments, but I don't. But not necessarily like on the racial scale or to a point where people wanted to cancel, because RG he says some wild stuff throughout in the broadcast and everything. So I think it stemmed back to that jigaboo comment. I want to say it may have been like 2 years ago. I think it'd been a year, because I think he was referring to like it was. I think it was more so referring to like, I guess like haters or whatever. He was saying something about jigaboos like in the context of it. So this is multi-layered. I would start first with RG3. RG3, to me, like you said, hate is a strong word. There's no need for you to even contrast the fact that Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, because we don't have no evidence. You put forth. Mm-hmm.
No, I was saying because like when he says that and he throws that word hate in there, it's like it's already a racial undertone with this so-called rivalry between these two, even though it may not be with them, but like you got media and then like the not the average fan that's saying this stuff. And when you say hate, you're kind of like, it's not a good look.
Right. It's a kitchen fire and he's using a gallon of water trying to pitch to exalt the fire, but it's going to get worse because it's a grease fire. So he's making it there. So the two examples that he used, they're two different contexts. Like you said, it's kind of one of the things where he made it to his own advantage. You got to understand the context of both games. This guy was getting mollywopped at that time. So obviously, I guarantee you there was some frustration about this game, and that's why Angel probably reacted in the way that she did. You think to yourself, this is the first game of the season, so you probably already think like, damn, if this the first game of the season, we're off to a terrible start. So obviously, I know that's probably on her mind with that. So for him to, like you said, kind of ignite this fire, I thought he was totally wrong. Ryan Clark, in my personal opinion, was wrong. I think Ryan Clark was grandstanding, in my personal opinion, because I don't necessarily think he had to take it that far as, well, he's not having nuanced conversations because he has a white wife and black issues. This isn't, and I understand, yes, and that's another one. He's throwing water on the situation too. When you sit down and you think about it, because yes, it is racial undertones behind that, but remember, this is still a basketball situation. So what's going on with Angel Reese? Like you talked about X, it's not fair how she's getting this type of hate, especially from like middle-aged men hating on a 23-year-old woman. It's gross to me. It's ridiculous. But regardless of if he had a black wife, he does have a black mother. He has black relative that are women. RG3 in this case he lacks the empathy. He lacks the empathy of understanding where Angel Reese is coming from. And quiet as kept, they're kind of almost similar when you sit down and think about it. Angel Reese 2023 versus RG3 2012 are almost eerily similar. This guy that won the Heisman, swept all the awards, he was the belle of the ball. Same was how Angel Reese was after she beat Caitlin Clark and what have you. So it's kind of one of the things where you think to yourself, even he knows how he was getting criticized for every little thing that he was doing. Same thing is happening to her because a lot of people look at him as well. He's an unorthodox quarterback. The same thing they say about Angel. Oh, she can't do this. She can't do this. So I find it rather odd with that. But to me, I feel as though even if RG3 had 5 black wives, RG3 still gonna have that same viewpoint. Because if you think he has a problem with the plight of what's going on with black women, you don't even understand the plight of black men. This man, I think people forget. I think we live in such a world where we have short-term memory. This man said out of his mouth in a tweet on March 20th, 61 days ago, that Jackie Robinson crossing the color barrier in baseball was not political. And that's what I said. And so if you expect him to understand what's going on with Angel Reese and he doesn't understand the plight of a Jackie Robinson, he's too far gone. And I think Ryan Clark used that moment to not to gaslight, but to grandize and try to have this situation where it's like, I'm an ally to black women, this and third. RG3's never going to get it. I don't understand. Like, that's my thing is like, he will never, ever get it. So there's no need to even do that, in my personal opinion, for RG3. And he knows it. And the whole thing about the milk, and I understand where RG3 came when it came to his wife. Because even though there are subtle undertones in that make me be like, you know what? You kind of talk about my wife. Because he talked about the milk comment, which RG3, he do that as a joke. We all have made snow jokes, milk jokes. I mean, I know I have. I mean, I'm not gonna front. I'm not like, holier than thou. Yes, I say it's a winter storm warning on comments, and that's just me. So I mean, I not understand kind of that notation. But then he said, "I see more than her skin color." Come on now, you talk about somebody, woman, talking about almost pretty much saying she's more than she's skin deep. She's more than skin deep. Come on now. Even if I had a girlfriend and somebody said I don't look at your girlfriend as more than just a black woman. I see her more than skin deep. Hold up, dog. Like, no. You're not talking about my girl like that. Just much as your wife. So I get that. I get where he kind of was like this whole, because that's where I got caught up in. But like, that's to me, like, it's a lost cause. Rob Parker told us 13 years ago he was a cornball brother. It cost him his job at ESPN, and it is what it is. And that's the thing where, I mean, I'm not surprised.
It cost Rob Parker his job, but was he wrong? I mean, he was wrong for saying it on national TV. And maybe in the way he kind of said it too. But was he wrong?
No.
He was wrong for saying it on national TV. Yeah. But I mean, like, was he wrong in?
No, because at that time, and this is another one when I talked about the whole how at 2012. And he was at the apex of it because that was his rookie year in Washington. So anything that you say, anything negative about RG3 at that time was going to get you canceled. I mean, that's almost, think about it, it's almost similar to like if you said something about Caitlin Clark at this point.
Right. They're
shocked. Like almost on that level. Mm-hmm.
My bad. I was kind of shocked that Rob Parker would even say that because I was kind of feeling the same thing about him. But hey, who am I? My bad.
Shout out to Rob. He a real one though.
I'm gonna say this though. Those are two young ladies, and they're changing the whole viewpoint of that league. And there's excessive pressure there. If I'm not mistaken, Coach, you can help me. Angel Reese broke down, I think, while she was doing her press conference, maybe after her last game in college, and everybody spoke on it. And then Ocho said, if she wants to be this, this, and that, she's got to be a big girl and take what comes, because she goes something like that. Am I tripping? Didn't we have
Yeah,
that conversation when we were talking about
yeah.
that? And
Mhm.
and I feel like, I think in some type of way, that's kind of what RG3 was trying to say, but he just chose the wrong words. And I feel like, and I think Reese also she might get a little aggravated because she probably just want to play ball, but it's Caitlin Clark right there. It's Caitlin Clark constantly, constantly, constantly. You know what I mean? And she probably just want to play ball, but they keep comparing them to, and blah 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 blah. I think it probably get a little overwhelming. But I remember Ocho was like, man, she's gonna have to. She wants to be this. She gonna have to. She gonna have to. She a star. Like, she gonna be one of those faces of a league that's trying to move forward. That she's gonna have to start taking more and start doing this and start doing that. It may not coexist exactly what we're talking about, but I think it's just a lot of pressure there on both of these young ladies. So even this of RG3 and RC having this conversation, when really it's something personally going on behind the scenes, as what we're talking about, they're still shining a light on them, even in kind of like in a negative way. When both of them are like, hey, it was a basketball play, we competitors. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they cool, but I got a feeling they kind of cool. They've been around each other and competing against each other for a long, long time. So they probably not the best of friends, but
Yeah.
hey, you never know. Like, I'm a Steeler. Ben Roethlisberger is one of his best friends is Ray Lewis. Who'd have thought it? You see what I'm saying? Because probably mentally they understand one another. So that's why I'm saying it. It's just that a lot of them are looking at them like they're young, and they keep wanting to dissect certain particular thing. And like I said, I think it's all just to help everybody trend.
Yeah, but like, and the thing about like, and it's already like we talked about, it's already kind of rooted in the racism type of elm, and then
Right.
now you got somebody creating a narrative saying that they hate each other, but we all know, and that's another thing too, where these are people that don't cover the sport. That's not telling everything. Like we talked about, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark go back to like middle school, high school
Right.
days. They've been in the AAU circuit for
Right.
all this time. It's a competitive game. So, and this, and everybody still goes back to that national championship game. It is what it is. That was 2 years ago. Why are we talking about a girl that was 20 years old at the time? We still talking about the whole John Cena thing. You act like you can't grow in 2.5 years, which
Right.
baffles. And like we got these casual, like I said, like I talked about, these casual dudes that need if they climb up a flight of steps, they need an oxygen tank. It's those folks. It's not the ones who actually cover the sport, who love this sport, and people who actually love this game of basketball that are in it. They're the ones, I think, in my personal opinion, are adding fuel to what is already the fire. And
Right.
he didn't, and he conveniently didn't put out during the All-Star game how they was playing well together in the All-Star game. They was on the same team in the All-Star game. So it's just like one of those things. Yes, that's where, and I just find it funny because we get so mad now in the NBA. Oh, well, these guys jersey swap. Nobody's punching each other. Why we don't go back to the old days? Everybody now swapping each other's jersey. But now when you got two people that got a fit that's physical and have I think to me personally has a competitive working relationship. Why we frown
Mm-hmm.
upon it? That's why I don't understand this whole like we want the physicalness. That's what y'all say y'all wanted. Y'all wanted rivalries. Y'all
Right.
wanted these things. But now when it's a woman, and when these women do it, it's a problem. The same ones that if they fly the steps, they need an oxygen mask. Like,
Right.
come on now. Like that's the thing that kind of pissed me off about all of it. And like you said, and like Emmanuel Archer, he's another one. And I didn't want to bring that at you because we'd be here to Friday morning
Right.
talk about him.
Right.
Because he's another
Let's
one,
go,
and like
coach.
like we talked about with him, because the only reason why she cried in that instance when we talked about it, because I made sure it was like maybe a 2 or 3 minute video, because the only reason why she
Mm-hmm.
cried because Haley Van Lith and Flajay Johnson was talking about her and was just saying, they applauded her strength and gave her flowers. This is her last college basketball game. At the time, we didn't know at the time, but it was eventually her last game. And she got emotional. That's like anybody. When you're at the end of the road, like of that nature with her, and two of your teammates giving you your flowers, you're going to have that reaction. So, it's to me, it's all dumb. And like both of them are wrong in their assessments. Ryan Clark for the whole pandering, this whole situation, because this is not a nuanced type of situation. This ain't just a situation where you have to be black, because it's tons of white women, white men, black men who have came to the defense of Angel Reese and said what happened to her and everything that's going on these last 2 years have been unfair. You don't have to be black to have a conversation and say what's going on with this 23-year-old woman, why men double and triple her age, old enough to be her grandfather, talking shit about her. You don't have to be a black woman to understand that it's not fair. And for him to say that it's a nuanced conversation, it's not nuanced. So both of them wrong.
One more thing. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that to me personally, I think RC, he could do whatever he wants. It's his platform. But when I think of the pivot, I think that RG3 should have been invited on the show and it should have been a conversation. Because that's what I think about the pivot. I feel like it's supposed to be an openly conversation with, I would say men, because I think they were going that way at first, but end up being it's athletes. And then clearly there's something pertaining to them as athletes that's an issue. And that's when I seen. I was like at first, but then once you played what you played, I didn't see that earlier. But like, I was like, man, I wonder why he would do that. I thought the pivot was supposed to be about, you start this way, then you make a pivot, and then you about letting emotion go, and stepping up and being real about the mistakes that you might have made or the stuff you want to do better. That's what I thought the pivot was about. I just wanted to say that. It just was weird that was put out there on this show. But anyway.
And to piggyback, because if I don't know if you ever heard of Andrew Schultz?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, comedian, right?
So yeah. So he came on the pivot. And it was and that was another one, because I don't know if you guys remember the joke that him and I don't know, remember those two British dudes that came on his show, because he had two shows, obviously, Brilliant Idiots and then Flagrant 2. And they had a situation as a joke about, like black women being, like aggressive and whatever. So then Schultz came on to the podcast and he was saying like, why do you have a problem with me just saying what I had to do? But when there's people who actually you've had people on the show that actually have hit women and been convicted, but you never said nothing to them. And I've never hit a black woman in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't confront the person that didn't, like you said, and that's why I think, like you said, RG3 needs to be on on the pivot. I think and hopefully they will, because I mean, like I said, this is something where if we and when this happened on Saturday, I did not think this was going to be a topic. I thought this was going to be something that's going to be kind of blown over. I didn't think that RG3 would have a comment, and then Ryan Clark, who essentially is talking about because he's married to a white woman, he can't have a nuanced conversation, yet he has a white baby mother. So it's just like, come on now, like we gotta stop doing stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't get mad and say that about somebody and you have a child by a white woman. And that's what, like, to bring the point home, where none of this stuff requires nuance. So it's just like, for him to even bring that up, it's just whatever. And of course he did that. So obviously, so it can make him grandstand and be like, people thinking like, oh, say, oh yeah, we got an ally in Ryan Clark. You don't. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You don't. Like you said, it's for content. It's for content. You don't.
I know I'm about to sound out of pocket when I say this, but maybe RG3 needs to sit down for like how I'm trying to think how long the song is. Maybe like 3-4 minutes, and listen to the song by Jay-Z, The Story of
Yep.
OJ, and I'm just gonna leave it at
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
He's not going to
He should. I
X.
mean, he
X.
should.
Listen to what Coach said. He's not going to get it.
I,
He's
He never
not. It's
will.
just like this. He never will. It's okay. It's all right. Maybe if you know what, if that's the case, he should listen to that and listen to they clone Tyrone, and maybe it'll hit him.
Yeah. Yep. And it never
It's never
will.
gonna hit him.
Unfortunately for him. But yeah, man, and crazy. So staying in the National Football Association, National Football League. Wow. So we gotta talk about Brock Purdy. So Brock Purdy, the 2022 Mr. Irrelevant, got paid. He signed a 5-year, $265 million extension, which 185 of them things gonna be guaranteed. I think it's 185 or 181. But in other words, he'll be getting over $180 million guaranteed. So pretty much he'll be in that $53 million annual range. Deal that's similar to Jared Goff, your old boy. Jared Goff, and no, he is your boy. He's your man's now. He's your QB now, right? And
QB one,
QB one. The pride of Cal University, and Tua Tagovailoa as well. So, Brock Purdy and his obviously he led San Francisco to 2 straight NFC Championship games in 2022 and 2023, and also a Super Bowl appearance in 2023. Fellas, I'm go around the horn. Your thoughts on Brock Purdy finally getting that money? What you got, X?
I'm glad he got his money. It's kind of like the 49ers always seem to pay their people. I noticed that about that franchise. They will pay their main guys, and you had to lock up Brock Purdy. You had to. You didn't want him to go out, test free agency, and get paid from another team. The guy, like you said, led you to a Super Bowl. He led you to 2 NFC Championships games. This past season, injuries riddled the team, so the team wasn't as successful, and he wasn't as successful. But they were injured, and pretty much if they weren't injured, like most of their main guys were hurt and out, they would have been back in the playoff mix. I'm not gonna say they would have made it to the NFC Championship game again or to the Super Bowl, but I feel like they would have been in that mix. I'm looking at some stuff about his contract. He also secured a full no trade clause, so he can't get traded without his consent. And in this season coming up, Purdy's cap hit is $9.12 million, including a $1.1 million base salary and a $40 million signing bonus. So that kind of kept the cap hit. It kept the early cap hit manageable. So they still got some flexible money to spend, move around when they want to get some guys in or pay some of the guys that they have. And also being Mr. Irrelevant to becoming the 7th highest paid QB in the league.
Yeah.
Hey, get your money, man.
Word.
Get your money. So he'll be a 49er for the foreseeable future until this is what the contract is running through the 2030 season. So
30, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, right.
I'm not mad at any player that's gonna get their money. Get it.
Yeah. So he'll be there 2030. That's the year that we go back to RFK. So yeah. So Mal, your thoughts on Brock Purdy getting that money?
This show is so great because even when Coach was talking about, I was like, this dude be sticking up for these ex-commanders, but he is really just RG3 side. Anyway, I'm just messing. For me, for me, I am so happy because this has been a conversation for the last 2 years, and people, it is a trip that he was the last. It's no brainer. Like he literally, the 49ers have had quarterback issues for so long, and he fell in their lap and they became a success. And then they can pick, they could get Sam, they had Sam McCaffrey, they had these other things where they like, man, they got this rookie quarterback that came out of nowhere that gave them success. He ain't trying to do more. He ain't trying to overstep anybody's boundaries. Let me play this way. He was very manageable. You know what I mean? And I just think they should have locked him in earlier, but I'm happy he got his bread. I told people he was gonna get paid. I'm just happy they did it. I'm happy it's over with. I thought they should have gave him an extension way before this, but I'm happy for him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if San Francisco had to do right by him. I mean, you just consider the fact, especially considering the fact the year prior to it, you traded up to get a Trey Lance, and he really helped you in the sense to kind of get you out of that scenario. And just kudos to him. I mean, when you look at, and this, I still true about 2022 draft class, where you just think to yourself, like, he's the only one that's been. Now, imagine you, we're not talking about like 2012, 2002, 2022, as in like 3 years ago. He's the only one out of all the quarterbacks that were drafted in his draft class that are still on his original team that he got drafted to. Kenny Pickett's on his third team. About to be on the fourth, because who knows what's going on in Cleveland. Cleveland is like ringing around the rosy. Somebody about to be the last. It's like musical chairs in Cleveland. Who ain't the last seat?
Can't stand Kenny Pickett.
Poor Desmond Ritter. He ain't even. He's a free agent. Malik Willis, he's in Green Bay. Matt Corral, whole thing, he in the UFL. Bailey Zappi, last time I checked, he was in a milk cart in Missouri.
Oh.
I think he in Kansas City now. My nephew Sam Howell, he went from Washington to Seattle, and then now he at Minnesota. And Kevin O'Connell let my nephew cook. And yeah, there's Skylar Thompson. I don't know what Skylar Thompson is at this point, but yeah, it's just and that's just and you had to, and that's the going rate, like you said. If you like, and I wanted to make the note as far as Jared Goff and Tua as pretty much like the standard when it comes to his contract, and he's more accomplished than those guys. Obviously, Jared Goff has gone to the Super Bowl, but so you look at it like Tua, so. And it was about time. I mean, they had to do it. So I mean, it was it was a matter of time. So yeah. But shout out to Brock Purdy getting your money in San Francisco, and you got Cal and them. They gonna take care of you. So you gonna be straight.
They always do.
They always do.
They just extended Fred Warner.
Yep.
So, I mean, they don't mind paying their players.
And the right ones at that, yep.
Exactly.
And I think that wide receiver core is going to be a lot better this year. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk coming back. I think Parasol definitely. I think he'll take the leap now. Obviously, I think with last year him being shot like the week before the season kind of was a setback for him. So you would
when he came back, he produced. He was a key cog in the system. So
for sure. And then now adding another year to that. So yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It was a trip today. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Coach.
Nah, what you saying?
It was a trip today to hear other athletes downplay him and was like, man, there's a bunch of different Brock Purdy's like those other guys helped him get there. And I'm thinking to myself, man, those dudes was always hurt. Like regardless if it was hardly ever all three. Like Trent was hurt or Samuels was hurt or McCaffrey was hurt. It was always it was never like just them full healthy and playing. You know what I mean? And like this dude still, he been there 4 years and he had a lot on his back. And it's the 49ers. It ain't like, Jacksonville. Let's just be honest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean, no disrespect to them, but it's not a franchise like that. So it's a lot on his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a 49er fan, but I was just sitting here like, man, he was drafted at this. He stepped up. The 49ers have had issues with a quarterback, and the quarterback, they finally could stamp, say, we got our quarterback. You know what I mean? Now we can work on other things. And just to hear them say, man, that's Brock Purdy's every day. I don't think so. Because a lot of ego is hard. Sometimes with a guy like Kyle Shanahan, who's a genius offensive, especially dealing with quarterbacks, then Jimmy G had success, but how come it didn't work out?
I think it's because the offensive scheme that the 49ers run, it kind of simplifies everything for the quarterback, because not only Jimmy G, but I know I'm gonna say his last name wrong, but when Jimmy G was hurt, CJ Bethea.
That third. Yes.
He played decent in the little bit of time that he was the starting QB, but I felt like he got hurt too in the same season.
That's Bobby Bettert grandson.
So I mean, I kind of understand why some of those players would say that about Brock Purdy, that it's Cal's offense and his offensive scheme, but you still have to run the play. Look at your options out there. You got to make your first read, your second read, your third read, and then sometimes you got enough time to go back to the first read. So. Right. And he has a decent arm.
Right.
So I mean,
it's probably just gonna get better.
And I get what people say that, but to me, I find that very rich and lazy. Because yes, you can do this all the time, because guess what? Well, why a first round pick and what shit didn't work? Why Trey Lance didn't work? Why Trey Lance didn't work? There's a lot of people we can really sit down and think about it. Right. And quiet is kept in the NFC Championship game against Philadelphia. If quiet is kept, if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt, was Josh Johnson able to lead them to Super Bowl? No. So it's just like all of it. You look at it from the standpoint, play all you want. Don't want to have Brock Purdy. You think anybody? You think Michael McCorkle-Jones from Jacksonville, Florida, as a backup quarterback can lead the San Francisco 49ers team to a Super Bowl? I think not. Like you said, all those guys from, like you said, and before when Cal first got there, he had all these different types of quarterbacks. Like you said, CJ Beathard was a quarterback back then. This before they got Jimmy G. And honestly, another one, Jimmy G was an overthrown away to Emmanuel Sanders. They would have beat the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's just like, it's a lot of factors that go into it. No, Brock Purdy is the perfect situation. He's in a perfect situation. Just like everything. That's who wouldn't want to be in a situation. That's what all quarterbacks want to be, in a situation where they're able to thrive in an offense. And nobody wants to say, oh yeah, I want to go to a place where my offensive coordinator doesn't know crap about football. I want him to put me in the worst position so I can prove that I'm good. No, says no one.
Right.
Because guess what? Because you're not going to get a $250-something million contract, this type of nature. No, you trust me.
Prime example. Look at Mac Jones. He
Yeah,
had
right.
he had
Yeah,
Josh
both of 'em.
McDaniel. He had Josh McDaniels his rookie year in New England,
Yep.
but then I don't know why Coach Belichick did what he did with who was it?
Matt Patricia,
Patricia.
and the dude that used to be the Giants coach, because he was a special team coach.
Well,
Shoot, I can't believe what's his name.
it's
Joe
not-
Judge.
yeah,
Joe Judge. Remember
You
they
got-
was going back and forth?
Yeah, you can't. You kind of set Mac Jones up for failure because you saw a substantial decline from his rookie season
Yep.
in the second season, and then you got Mac Jones looking like he don't know nothing about football
Right.
or how to play football.
Right.
But the whole time you got a defensive coordinator in your ear trying to play offensive coordinator.
Offense.
It doesn't work.
Right. Exactly. And look where it landed him. He went back home to Jacksonville. He had a cup of coffee at his mama's house and went to Jacksonville, and then go to San Francisco. Now he brought Purdy back up.
And
He said, I blame Jordan. I blame Jordan.
And I'm biased because look at what Matt Patricia did to my Detroit Lions in that 2.5, 3 years. Like really?
Yep.
Really? You ran out one of our best defenders in Slay.
Yeah.
Like come on, man.
Huh. Terrible play, Slay. I hate him. Why now?
I don't like I said, I don't want to sound biased, but I'm not a fan of Coach Pencil.
Oh, for sure. I don't think no one really is a fan of that Patricia. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, little bills don't work. I'm telling y'all, like we talked about this all on the show. All these little bills in the NFL, they don't work out. Like, because you can't be Bill. Like, you can't bring that.
They try, and that's their problem. They try to be him so much,
so bad, right?
So bad.
Just be your own. Be your own coach. Just be your
own. And the person that's probably actually like him, they treated bad, and his name is he's a B also. He's the defensive coordinator, I think, for the Vikings.
Oh, Flores, yeah, Brian Flores. And because it's really more so like the Bill Parcells type, because really Bill Belichick is really little Bill Parcells.
But
right.
And it's
Sean Payton is like that too.
Yeah.
But
Sean Payton, yeah.
But it's easy to do that, to be that type of coach when you have a rookie quarterback. You can't do that with an established quarterback. Right, you need someone that you need a young rookie quarterback. So he can get away with so he can get away with being that type of coach in Denver. But you
can't fire them up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Bo Nix probably uses it as fuel to his fire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he probably don't like it, but instead of him bitching and moaning about it, he's going to go out there and produce. And
because I think after the whole situation saying that he had a little Ferris Bueller in him, he went off. And I'm just like, I don't think Bo Nix knows who Ferris Bueller is.
I doubt it.
I mean, I don't. Well, even though Bo Nix probably went to school with us in the late 1900s, but I don't think he knows who Ferris Bueller is, because he was at Oregon and Auburn for the longest. I think he was born seriously. I think he was born like in 1999. I think, or like in the late 90s.
That stuff's crazy.
He might have been born in 2000, but still. But yeah, you don't know who Ferris Bueller is.
Man, that COVID year did wonders for a lot of people, man.
Oh, it sure did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eligibility.
NIL, everything.
Still got an extra L. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's like it ended up being a blessing for some people. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
because then the next year you end up having that. Yeah, yeah. So, we had some really exciting news come out of the National Football League the other day, where the NFL owners have agreed that NFL players are allowed to participate in the flag football event in the 2028 Olympics in sunny, beautiful, luxurious Los Angeles, California, which is 3 years away from that. So, and develop a fun exercise tonight here on Couch Coach Live. I wanted to create our quote unquote our flag football dream team for the 2028 Olympics. So this could be like a list. More so, think of like kind of how you look at these guys like in 3 years, like as far as that's concerned. So the rules were that you'll pick a quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end. I'm gonna go with you, X. Who would be on Team X for the summer games in 2028 in LA?
So I'm picking all my players right now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do the quarterback. Yeah, let's do it like that. Yeah, so we'll do it like that. You do your quarterback first. Yeah, your quarterback. Who's your quarterback?
I'm taking one QB, right?
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Don't get mad at me, but I'm taking your boy. I'm taking your boy. I'm
almost dead.
Jaden Daniels. I'm
okay.
taking him.
Yeah. All right. Who you got, Maui?
I just knew I wasn't gonna be able to get JD. I just something ain't right. Right, somebody gonna take him. So I went on ahead and took the other one. I took Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured that too, because obviously it didn't make sense. Because I think he will be it, because obviously from him being from San Bernardino, 70 miles from LA, he'll be the odds-on favorite. But give me the king of LA potentially in 3 years. Give me Mr. Justin Herbert. Give me Justin Herbert. Give me the hometown kid. You know, give me the hometown.
That's a good
kid.
one though. That's a good one
Herbert. Yeah, I think he could be in LA and being that guy. All right, so we're gonna do our running back. Who's gonna be your running back, X?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Ooh.
You know I'm taking my boy. You know I'm taking my boy.
Yeah. All right, who you got, Mel? Your running back.
I'm going Saquon.
All right.
We trying to get that gold, baby. We trying to get that gold.
And my picks are gonna be kind of projected. Who I think is gonna be a real good running back in 3 years. I'm gonna say Ashton Genty. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders superstar. He'll take the short trip from Las Vegas to LA. All right. Wide receiver. Who's your wide receiver one, X? Who you got?
Well, I'm gonna stay within the division, the NFC North, and I'm taking Jettas.
I knew that was gonna happen. All right. All right. Who you got, Mal?
I got Chase, Jamar Chase.
All right. Because I had Justin Jefferson on mine, so I'm gonna as far as my wide receiver, I'm gonna you know what? I'm gonna go outside the box. I think mine could be a little bit more futuristic. I'm gonna go with Malik Neighbors.
Okay.
You know what? Scratch that. I'm gonna get BT. I'm gonna get Brian Thomas.
Okay.
I'll put Brian Thomas.
All
right. Who's your wide receiver 2?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Okay. All right. And who would you be a wide receiver 2, Mal?
Man, Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek. Actually, my 2000 my wide receiver 2 is actually still in college. Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State. So he'll be a rookie. He'll be finishing his rookie campaign in 2008. So give me Jeremiah Smith. It was a toss between Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams. So either or, I think it'd still be good. You know, because we know our boy Ryan Williams had that nail polish. So shout out to Ryan Williams. He's just 18, dog. He just 18.
It don't mean nothing. I'm a rock star.
All right, X, who's gonna be your tight end?
Oh, my boy, Sam Laporta.
Oh,
Laporta.
And who's your tight end, Mal?
I got Brock Bowers.
No. I was gonna get Brock Bowers too. I was waiting. Because Kelsey will probably be gone. He'll definitely be out of the picture in 3 years. But I mean, as far as he'll be retired. I did thought about Brock Bowers. Who would be a good tight end that I would have for who's a good young tight end in the NFL that I'm actually going down the list now. I'm gonna go Tyler Warren for the Indianapolis Colts, and I think mine's gonna be more of a futuristic, where not necessarily I think he's gonna be the best guys in 3 years, but I definitely think this is gonna be a young up and coming team. So, yeah, so that's who my tight is gonna be, Tyler Warren for the Indianapolis Colts.
So X, what made you pick those players? I picked mine for a specific reason, so I want to know why you picked yours. Like, what is it, style or something, or are you just loyal?
No, I mean the Gibbs pick is loyalty, and the Laporta pick is loyalty. But as far as Daniels, Gibbs, Jettas, and Marvin Harrison, it's speed. It's speed, and then Laporta will be like my red zone target.
Okay.
Because of his size and his catch radius. So
I picked for speed also. I picked for speed, and I was like, this is flag football. It's a complete different game. You know, it's just like you got to be able to move and cut and turn your body, be able to run. Like, your cut got to be hard so you could take off. You know what I mean? So that's why I picked them. I was looking up. I seen Chase guy is yards, is a bunch of little things, and I was like, Tyreek's so fast. I was like, man, and then I was like, okay, like Tyreek pick was 3 years, he might be on his way out. You know what I mean? And it's the Olympics. So one thing about the Olympics, I was wishing we can get players that was like a true dream team. Like some players like Cam Newton, Antonio Brown, and that kind of messed their career up towards the end, where everybody kind of looking at them some way. They could represent the country in the Olympics. You know what I mean? I thought that would be cool, but I basically, that's why that was my Tyreek Hill's pick, to be honest with you. But I try to pick real jukey, quick guys.
Yeah, and I think I picked based solely on the potential of these guys going to be in 3 years. Right. I definitely probably with the exception of Justin Herbert. I still think Justin Herbert is still going to be a solid quarterback. Like I said, because I don't really think it's really going to be Jay Daniels for certain. Definitely because of the proximity. Obviously, he'll draw a crowd. Obviously, like I said, being from San Bernardino, he'll be there. I think Ashley Genty, he's another. I think a stocky back. I definitely think he'll be solid there. And then you got 2 game breakers and Brian Thomas and Jeremiah Smith. So I think Jeremiah Smith, I think he would have been a first round pick in this year's draft. So just imagine he got 2 more years of eligibility left. So the sky's the limit for him. So just imagine, I think he'll be a guy that's going to be a plug and play once he hit the league. And in 3 years, he'll be just coming off his rookie year. because I think he'll be draft eligible in 2027. So he'll be. We'll see him at the National Mall in 2007 in the nation's capital in that draft. And then Tyler Warren, he's another one. I think he's gonna be almost in the elk of a type of a Brock Bowers. I mean, you think yourself last year, he almost had 2,000 yards receiving, and he's a tight end. So and then you can put him in so many packages. He could be your H back in certain forms, and obviously the hometown kid. It would be great to have a gold medal winner out of Hanover County. So yeah, so
Coach, quick question: Are they playing both sides of the ball, or are they taking?
I don't. That's what I say. I don't necessarily I don't know how the flag football in a sense work. I'm assuming that they have because more so this is just more so of the sense. I think they will be where you have defenders and what have you. Just like a classic flag football. I think it's like 10 guys on the team.
Okay.
So I'm assuming. So that's why I'm assuming the as far as the defensive angle comes from and what have you. But and I'm kind of curious, because I know a lot of people like in the flag football community. Not like I know, but as far as I know, one of the guys who does flag football pretty much saying this as a fair for NFL athletes to be in this sport. And I get where he come from because you imagine playing flag football all these years and you think this is your opportunity, and you might lose your spot to Jalen Hurts.
So, do you think it's gonna be like the '92 Dream Team when they were just blowing everybody out?
Yeah, I think they're going to get the best ensemble, and I think this is just another way of the NFL putting their fingerprints on another sporting event, especially with it being in LA as well too. And it'll be such a great draw. I guarantee you they could pack out SoFi compared to.
Mm-hmm. I ain't mean to interrupt, but let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this too, Mo. If you guys were owners of an NFL franchise, would you want your players to participate in this?
Nope.
Yeah.
You would, Mal?
I'm gonna say yeah. Yeah, because because I'm a military kid, and I know that when they win the gold medal, this is still going to help my franchise. I understand you may not want them to because you're worried about physical play and this and that. But like I said, are you military or anything like that, X?
No, I'm not.
Or military? All right. So it's when they go out, when they go to play, and it's not in another place in LA, and you represent your country, it's a different animal. I remember like just going to Germany and stuff that we don't value here. I valued when I went over there, and I was a little kid. I valued going to McDonald's regardless back in the day. You know what I mean? But I could tell like it was 4th of July. I mean, I was in second grade, and I just remember just people saying, "Yeah, the fireworks go to Detroit. Yeah, blah 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 blah." And to this day, that still kind of give me chills because I just thought it was fireworks. But then you start realizing. So what I'm trying to say is, I would let, because they're not going to hit each other. They might, it's flag football. You know what I mean? But I'm sure that it's going to be some type of physical. I think you asked a good question. So they're not going to have defensive players there. You know what I mean? Like, why would you, have offense play offense and have defense play defense? You know what I'm saying? Just like football is. Just like football.
It's all like, to me, what I look at is like it's almost like a 7-on-7 type of thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. You're right.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I do see. I already kept like the imagery. Like I can see like a Jaden Daniels carrying the flag for the U.S. in the opening ceremonies.
Right.
that type of, even though that's just me, my commander bias, but I guarantee it's probably other athletes that's going to be in line for carrying the flag. But I just think that would be kind of ceremonious for a guy from the area to be the flag bearer, for it. But part of me, I don't, from an injury standpoint, because it's kind of one, especially now where we're in a day and age now where so many non-contact injuries. And I forgot what was the guy, even though it was the running back for the Patriots. Remember they had like a flag football and he shredded his knee. God, what was his name? I forgot because he was a rookie and he had a good rookie campaign. And I think he came back years later. And I think they were playing like flag football in Hawaii because it was for the Pro Bowl. And the dates, because you look at the Olympics, is really like the last night of the Olympics is July 30th.
Mm-hmm.
And you think stuff like that's right at training camp. So it's kind of one of those things where even though yes, this is a 16-day event, the extra time, and then I think by the time we get here, it's going to be 18 games. I'm willing to put just about anything that we'll have an 18-game regular season by the time 2028 hits.
So I am changing my vote to no.
So, all right, but do you think that the NFL would push the season back, or maybe take away? Because if once they go to 18 games, I'm pretty sure they're going to cut back to 2 preseason games, right?
Yeah, it'll be 2, and they're still thinking that it's going to be that there'll be 2 buys. So basically, what they're thinking is going to end up happening is the season either going to start. I'm thinking the season's probably going to have to start Labor Day weekend, and I'm thinking what's going to happen is how college football got a week 0, which don't make 0 sense. And I think week 0 is going to be week 1 for college football when it happen. So what's going to end up happening is Super Bowl is going to be that 3rd Sunday in February, which is going to be President's Day. So essentially, that'll be kind of a way of everybody having a 3-day weekend. And I'm assuming the NBA will either have to move their All-Star game up the 2nd week of February. I'm assuming it got to be they'll probably have their All-Star game the week before the Super Bowl and kind of switch that way. Crazy, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't even know why they're doing it. They need to. They got to think about their product and investment.
See,
NFL, man. I don't think they.
It's what they.
That's not good look.
This about. It's about the money. Like I'm telling you, dude. Like we got like so many international games this year. Like remember how we used to have one? Dude, they're going to England, Ireland, Spain, like Brazil, like. And this is going like they said, they're gonna probably have 16 international games a year. And now you add an extra week to that. So of course everybody's gonna be going overseas at least one game because now you add that 18th game because that's going to happen. I mean, that's going to happen. I don't know if it's gonna coincide. Hopefully it would be before the 2028 season because that would be a terrible adjustment to have that in play in the first year, and then you got these guys going to the Olympics and playing 2 weeks worth of football, and then after that they literally gonna have to go to training camp, or even training camp probably gonna be going on at that time. And you got to remember they're gonna probably be going through OTAs. I know another thing too that I think that's gonna change too, where I think they're just gonna make OT. You know how like now you got these camps like 2 or 3 camps, and then they kind of break off, and then they come back a little bit in June for like a week or 2, and then that's what we call the dead period. I think they're gonna start those earlier, where like training camp may start like in June. I know people were looking at that type. People were looking at that at one time. That's a distinct possibility, but
if they do that, that's gonna take away from. That's gonna cut back into their off season, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
by how many weeks?
but I don't necessarily think it. I think it's just one of those where they're just gonna do it for like 1 week or a few days and then break off. So I think instead of having it kind of, like it's been kind of scattered, how it is kind of now where the rookies come in and then you seeing guys come in now, when it's like the end of May. So you look at they doing stuff now. So instead of doing all that stuff like in May, push it in June. I think it's gonna be more of a condensed version, more so than just like now it's kind of scattered because many camps are going on now. Like what they call the voluntary portion of it, and I think mandatory and all that stuff starts in the couple weeks of June, like maybe the first week of June or the second week of June, and I think they do that for like a couple of days, and then from there, everybody's going until to training camp, and then you think training camp is gonna be early, especially for y'all and the Chargers, because y'all play on July 31st.
Yeah, we got the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah. In Canton, Ohio.
Oh
yeah. So y'all, I would assume y'all probably gonna get training camp maybe probably the second week in July. So pretty much after 4th of July. Probably a week after that, y'all be in camp probably.
Crazy.
So
more than likely,
right.
Well, out of everything that y'all saying, I will say this: I will decline Jamar Chase, and I want Travis Hunter. He knows how to play both sides. Makes you, it just makes you just look at the whole dynamic. Like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get Travis, and he know how to play both sides.
Well, yeah. So I'll take, if you got Jamar Chase, I take Brian Thomas away. I take BT away. But I'll raise you one Jaguar to another. Yeah. So
I'm just saying.
I get Jamar. I take Jamar off your end. But it's gonna be a little funky how that's gonna end up working out. But I know that once again the NFL, they just worry about the bottom line. They worrying about the money, and it's definitely gonna generate some stuff because you just imagine.
Right.
Now you imagine the whole NBC angle, and
they really don't know yet. Gonna mess. All right, gonna mess around and get beat by some team overseas, and everybody gonna be talking about the NFL. Like, man, we knew they was sorry. We should have kept Jamar.
and plus this would be great for NBC. Obviously, this would be their way of kind of promoting the NFL during the Olympics. So that's another thing. And then of course the consumer Peacock probably could be about $30 a month by the time that happened. So because the Peacock will go up during the Olympics like they did last year. The rate increase. How are you gonna tell me before the Olympics is gonna go up from $5.99 to $7.99? What? Are you serious? I just got it. And you talk about a rate increase.
We know.
Because of the Olympics.
We know, man. We just want to make sure you got the cheese and the pepperoni too, Coach.
But it'd be fun, man. Just imagine them playing at the LA Coliseum. That'd be awesome, man. That'd be so freaking cool, man. Like, so, we're only 3 years away, and it'll be here before you know it.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So
these those players aren't complaining. I don't hear too many NFL players complaining about playing games. You know what I mean? Kudos to them, man.
It's gonna be, especially that 18 game. That's crazy, man. 18 games, man. That's too much. And with the playoffs too. Come on, like that's ridiculous. Right. Yeah, it's gonna be So and it's like we headed down that route, unfortunately. So
you think they'll add another wild card spot eventually?
Yeah, because that's another streaming avenue for them. I can see that. Where you have 8 teams making it.
And then the top 2 seeds, they'll go back to how it used to be. The top 2 seeds get the bye week.
Get a bye. Yeah, two get the bye, or they could situation and just have an extra matchup. This could be a situation where they might put this on Fubo TV. You know, we had a match. We had the exclusive wild card game on Fubo TV or whatever the next app gonna be.
Right.
That's what they're gonna do because they have. Yeah. Better yet, it's gonna be on Netflix. The playoff game gonna be on Netflix. We're gonna have the number 2 seed versus 8 seed on Netflix with Manti Te'o and all them.
Hey man, don't be talking, man. Don't deal out, man.
No, I mean he was on the in studio for Christmas, for the Christmas game.
I know. I was happy to see him. I was proud. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, he's gonna be here, of course. So we'll put we'll put a ball on tonight's show tonight. We'll go around the horn. Who gets this game ball for you, X? Who get this game ball for you?
Well, this week, over the weekend, Sunday, got a chance to go see this 17U AAU team called the Living Legends play at the Henrico Sports Complex.
Yeah.
They played in the Big Shots AAU tournament. They were pretty much considered an underdog team going into the event tournament. So they played I think a total of 5 games. No, it was either a total of 5 or 6 games, and they finished in second place. They lost in the championship game, but they made a name for themselves in that tournament. I just want to give them a shout out, and I want to give the coaches a shout out as well. Coach V, also known as Javard Bolden, Coach Jermaine Bolden, and Coach David Royal Jones. So just want to give them a shout out and give their team a shout out.
All right. Who gets the Swiss game ball for you, Maui? We got.
Man, I'm giving it to Brock Purdy, man. Like I said, it's been a subject that I've talked to people a lot about for the last few years. We talked about it earlier. So like I said, 5 years, what was it, $181 million signing bonus or guaranteed money? Shout out to Brock Purdy, man. And I'm going to give you a quote that Steve Young said. Steve Young said, he has a natural calmness that it takes most QBs to grow into. So, man, shout out Brock Purdy, man, getting that money.
Yeah, so this week I actually got 2 game balls. I got to give a game ball to by far probably one of the greatest sports programs that is on the 4-letter network. It's actually unfortunately coming to an end on Friday. So 48 hours from now, there will be no more Around the Horn. A great run for Around the Horn since its inception, since November 4th of 2002. Final episode is this Friday at 5 o'clock. So many great personalities, obviously with the host Tony Reale, what he does, obviously Woody Page with the chalkboard in the back, and all these great sayings. Tim Kalishaw, Bill Plaschke, all these great Jamel Hill. Pretty much any journalist in this country, Colin Yates. Even I got Kevin Blackenshaw. I actually met him a few years back. Great guy. It's a staple for ESPN, and just another signal that unfortunately the journalism game is definitely on its last leg, and shows like that kind of showcase the journalistic talents of guys in this world where there used to be times when guys had deadlines. They are on this show and facing deadlines. So for the papers, but yeah, it's gonna be a void. Those 5 o'clock around the horn, shows be no longer after Friday, but definitely a hell of a run, almost 23 years. But yeah, man. So it's funny that actually talked about the Henrico sports and entertainment venue. Man, so today there was an announcement that the Henrico Sports Entertainment Authority and Atlantic 10 have inked a 3-year extension to keep the Atlantic 10 Women's Championship here to 2029. I'm gonna tell you, me and Darrell, we since they came here last year in 2024, I was like, this got to stay here. And we kept saying it every year. Last year we said it, this year we said it, and now it's coming to fruition. Definitely huge shout out for them, and especially to the Henrico Sports and Entertainment Authority. Everybody there, Don, Dennis, everybody there. They're just fantastic. They definitely look out for your boy. Cannot wait. I kind of want to fast forward to March of 2026 and be there for those great 5 days. Like we talked about, it's a grind, but those 5 days, I'm okay with not having no sleep for those 5 days and have sleepless nights and 14-hour days. They're worth it. But yeah, the A10 tournament is staying in our backyard in Henrico County to 2029. So, man,
I'm gonna have to check it out next year.
You got to. It's a must. You got
have to.
It's fun, man. It's really fun, and it's a great venue, and you'll love it. Everybody's fantastic. Like the venue, everybody, like I talked about, everybody in the venue is fantastic. Down to obviously we talked about Don and Dennis and everybody in the staff. Everybody who works there, they great. Even everyone always willing to help you. I know when I first got there, like I was just lost like crazy, but everybody helped me kind of navigate where I need to go. People who everybody who served us food and everybody's very welcoming, accommodating. It's just awesome. You'll love it. It's like, to me, like I tell Jarrell, like that's my Super Bowl. That's the A10 Women's Championship is like my Super Bowl. It's the event that I cherish. Is the event that is marked on the calendar months ahead of schedule. I already know what is it, March 6th through the 10th next year. So it's like it's already on the calendar for 2026, and we ain't even halfway through this year yet. But yeah, it is. It's happening, and it's something it's funny. We always talked about it, and now it came to fruition, and it's awesome. We like, man, this got to stay here. This got to stay here. We kept on saying like, this event got to stay here, and it'll be here to the rest of this decade. So, got some great years to cover this tournament, like you said, and you'll love it too. And obviously, not just for the venue, but the coaches are great. Every coach, it's been great to interact with the coaches and just we'll talk in between games or whatever, and it's awesome. Every coach in the 18 is phenomenal. They're great. Especially outside of obviously covering Richmond and VCU, that you see pretty much on a weekly, monthly basis. But everyone, when they come into town, those coaches, they greet you, they know who you are, they shake your hand and talk to you for a little bit, and they know who you are, and they're appreciative of the coverage. That's one thing too, where you really you see the fruits of your labor. I think when you go to a tournament like that, and they'll see you, even media days. They know, they know who you are. They speak to you and all that. So it's awesome, man. Yeah. March 6th through the 10th. I think that's what it is. I think it is March 6th through the 10th, if my memory serves correct. But it's gonna be amazing, man. I when I heard that news today, I was like, man, this is so exciting. Because no, don't send us to Delaware. Please don't send us back to Delaware. But that's between you and I and people who are watching. Oh no, actually, matter of fact, it's March 4th through the 8th. It was 4th through the 8th. That's what it is. Yeah, I'm in that misquote. So it's March 4th through the 8th. Because last year was the 5th through the 9th. That's right. Yeah, I keep on thinking that guy goes back. But yeah, man. So we'll round out tonight's show. Final thoughts and what you got going on as far as everything. X, final thoughts before we head on out?
Great show. I'm glad to be back on again. Appreciate the invite as always.
Sure.
Other than that, I don't really have anything going on this weekend other than just enjoying the 3-day weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully a cookout here and there.
And it was supposed to rain Monday. I'm like, come on now. Hold off, man. We hold off on the rain next week. It can rain, let it rain all week except for this weekend. For sure.
Yeah, for real.
Right.
What you got? Yeah, what you got, Mal?
Oh man, great show. Work, bro. Work and getting ready for these changes to come. Appreciate X, man. You've been on the show. It's always a blessing to be on here, Coach. So, you want me to do social media or we just?
Yeah, social media. What you got going on?
Like I said, social media, Deshaun Morgan, Facebook, DT Morgan, 78, Instagram. I'll be here next week. You know what I mean? If it does rain Monday, boy, I'm gonna sleep good because I'm off.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Yeah, man. I know. It's gonna feel good to have a 3-day weekend of doing nothing. Like,
right.
Not going up the road. Well, now not really. I still gotta do some stuff for the defenders next Sunday. So I'm not technically off. Still gotta do my, do some stuff there. But pretty much Facebook, Twitter, Instagram on the Couch Coach Live. Website couchcoachlive.com. YouTube, Couch Coach Live as well. Just social media, pretty much. Also, so YouTube did have an interview, talked to Ryan Blaney, NASCAR driver. So that's on the YouTube page as well, and also on Instagram on the Couch Coach Live. But like you said, 3-day weekend. 1 day doing something, but the rest we're chilling. So, other than that, but yeah, man. So this wraps up this week's Couch Coach Live, man, and we'll catch you guys next week. And we're out.
You're welcome.